Ой, блять. Да-да, всем привет, да-да-да-да, я. А чё у меня? Бля. Вот так вот. Чё, Серега, ты уже пришел, что ли? Как же он дышит, блять. Вау-вау-вау. Блять, Серега, на. Вау-вау-вау-вау-вау. Чё, Серега? Вау-вау. Эти охуенные. Игнорит. Черт. Черт, блять. Не знаю, зачем я включил эту игру, да, я мог, в принципе, Fortnite настроить. Ну, какая-то из водных молекул сообщила мне, что это будет правильным выбором. Как долбоёб, говорю. Чё, он зарегал там? Нет, свой аккаунт? Чикать. Да. Ясен красен, блядь.
It was about 30 years ago.
30
Billy was
years
hiding
ago.
out in an abandoned farm near Stinking Spring. I threw in the kid because the man I had sworn vengeance
Пусть он
on was
пока
riding
вещает.
with Billy's enemies.
А я жду одного человека. Го почитаем что-нибудь. Что, в чем прикол?
But before I...
Ни в чем. Боже. Такими темпами он никогда не зарегистрируется, блядь. Зарегал, молодец. Политик, лидер и борец. Угу. Да, я, блядь, хотел сплюнуть, а в итоге проглотил это, блядь. Чё, надеюсь, он пришел. И я уже могу начать играть, собственно. Да-да-да-да. Я ковбой, блядь. Ага. Я чувствую, я в Outlast, блядь, играю. Да, в Fortnite чутка попроще играть, чем в это. О да. Буду трахать твои глаза. У меня сейчас не станет нормальное качество платья. Блять, Верки не будет.
Garrett and his army of deputies had surrounded the entire homestead. I decided to help Billy and the boys out of it. So that's just what I did. As the governor of New Mexico was paying for the kids'
Oh shit!
Garrett was able to hire every gun hand in Lincoln County.
Я долбаю. Мне просто в жбан дали, блядь. Мне просто дали в жбан. О нет! О нет! Я фликанул, когда он. По-моему, это самая максимальная сложность, которую я ставил. Ты, блядь, попадешь-то, ясен хуй. Есть какие-то еще навыки здесь? Так, ебать. Как этот навык туда не применять? Чего? У меня есть с собой револьвер, нажмите прокрутка вверх. Understand, блять. Кто еще остался? Ты даун? Блять, ёбаный.
their heads cut off. Still, one of them reached the water tower. Not a bad idea. It would be a turkey shoot from up there.
Я ковбой, блядь. Не видишь, что-то красное. А.
Luckily, these shooters Garrett hired weren't the sharpest.
Ой, блядь, до конца не одыпляю, что тут надо делать, поэтому...
A lot of them were saddle tramps or sod busters or drunken drifters looking to make a few bucks. Now you're really pissing me off. Then I heard a friendly voice yelling at me from the window. Back door! We'll cover you! Try aiming, you idiots! Truth be told, things weren't much better behind the house. Put some holes in them! I cut their numbers in half, but that just made the ones that were left twice as mad. They made up for their lack of skill with a seemingly endless supply of ammo. It was a bit of a slog, but I finally fought my way around the back of the house. And like that, I was inside, none the worse for wear.
А, это наш.
I passed Dirty Dave, and upstairs I found Billy and Charlie Bolton.
Это наши, блядь. Оу, щит. А, да?
Billy looked at me and said, "About time, amigo. Grab a gun and get to the window."
Амиго.
So you were friends with Billy the Kid?
Yeah, sort of.
Так, кто я?
Anyway, we were surrounded by dozens of deputized shooters who wanted to do us harm. I'm telling you, Garrett's men were dropping like flies, but they just kept on coming. I think I got one!
О, да, да, да. Скажите мне, что еще не попал? Нет. О, нет! Я такой момент словил, боже.
Suckers I personally put down, but it was pretty clear, even to Billy, that maybe was the better part of valor. What's that mean? It means that it was time to cut and run. They got a Gatlin, Billy shouted. Get the horses and bring them round back. I'll draw their attention. He directed that order at me, and I thought, why the hell do I have to do it? But I went anyway. Dumbass that I was there, you know. Those poor sons of bitches are many would have fled in my place.
О, нет, как тут...
But I had that false sense of invincibility that many young.
Так вот в Фортнайте за боксом сидишь, короче, все, пиздец. Чего, блядь? Ты долбоёб? Какой? Куда мне, кстати, идти? Вот это? Это не то, блядь. Или это то? Это то. Ебал. Серега, ты чего там? Ебать! Как? А, понял. Серега, что ты хотел? Сука, что это такое? Играю в... Мне, в принципе, тут и одного револьвера хватит. Не хватит. Долбоёбина! Не хватит мне тут одного револьвера. Я люблю идти на раш. Блять, я помню этот момент с курицей.
Sheriff Pat Garrett.
I read that you went toe-to-toe with him, sir. That backstabbing bastard with that tacked-on tin star.
Пытание избиения мышки. Не понял. Вообще-то это звуки от клавиатуры, если что. Нормальная игра, на замену сегодняшнего стрима сойдет. Завтра я, может, форту постримлю. Не знаю, подумал.
It said he showed no fear as he took your measure with eyes like a rattlesnake.
Какой нахуй? Да он. Что мне нужно, блядь? Управление. А будьте добры сказать мне, блядь, что там было. Не знаю, как за ним следить, блядь.
In a fair fight.
Is that what that Penny Dreadful said? No, boy. That ain't what I meant when I said I met Pat Garrett. So let me start again. I finally reached those damn stables. I stepped inside, and bam! Last thing I heard was Garrett's voice. That's not Billy.
And go on. How did it end?
And, boy, that was just the beginning.
So what happened? Did Garrett arrest you?
Yeah, after I came to, the bastard had clocked me with his Colt.
And the kid surrendered?
When he realized there was no getting out of there alive.
So they locked you up in Lincoln?
Indeed they did. Sentenced me to hang right along with the kid. It's important to know that I was only riding with Billy so I could find the bastard I was after.
Алло.
John Kinney's gang. and they were sworn enemies.
Тупо,
and
блядь,
regulators.
под шконкой нахуй сплю вот здесь.
Why were you after him?
I owed that son of a bitch a bullet for what he had done to me and mine. Instead, all I got for myself was a goddamn death sentence. Luckily,
У меня
it
2
was
очка.
right around then that I heard Billy make his move.
Короче, вот эта винтовка, я так понял, вот это револьвер. Ну, вот это вот, короче. Я не могу выкачать.
He shot Jim Bell and a few other guards as he made his getaway. Later, they wrote that some lady friend planted a pistol for him in the privy. What the papers didn't say is that Billy helped me escape too.
Чё за видео? Не, я не буду это видео смотреть, потому что... Какой звукоизоляции, блять, где эти сделаю звукоизоляцию от клавиатуры? Я сейчас офну нахуй. Я вообще запустил только... Вообще, блять, знаешь, во сколько я, блять, проснулся? В 9 нахуй, в 9, блять. Я вообще не хотел ничего пускать, не было желания. Но тут я вспомнил, и ты еще говоришь о неуважении к зрителям, я
Luckily, I
понял.
located Deputy Bob Ollinger's mean-ass shotgun.
Или если это рофлы, ну, один хер, как бы, разницы нет. Потому что это триггернуло. Ты, блядь, динамит ёбаный. Я тебе отвечаю, нахуй.
I saw Billy through the window, and he yelled that I should take to the rooftops to make my escape. So I did.
Ну, блядь, дробовик, ёпта, возьми додик. Здорово.
The kids' escape raised a huge ruckus.
О нет, блядь, 2 патрона вблизи.
Hell yeah. That scatter gun was like a double-barreled howitzer. It could blow a man clear off his feet. You hardly had to aim the damn thing. Guards were everywhere looking for him. Can't let the kid get away. Anybody see him?
А по какой крыше-то, ёпт?
I had to jump from roof to roof like a damn alley cat. I followed the
О
flames
нет!
as I could, but some of that wood was slippery as hell. The whole town was up in arms. And suddenly, I was a fugitive.
Я типа ухожу или что?
So that bastard you were after, what did he do? He did me and my family a grievous harm. But I knew if I was ever going to find him, I would need to get my ever-loving ass out of there.
А, да?
I tried to be stealthy and sneak my way past. You!
This town doesn't have a moment's faith.
But hell, if they weren't all waiting for me. Apparently, some of them thought I was Billy.
You hooligans can go to hell.
Да ебаный дауны. Блять, что я сделал? Короче. Я забыл, что это максимальный уровень сложности, тут лезть не надо, но... Прикол еще в том, что у меня персонаж долбоеб, вы это видите, нет? Он же конченый. А трон-то, блядь, нет. И все. Где револьвер-то, блядь? Сосал ваш пет.
See, me and the kid shared a certain similarity in build and color. I was just glad I had Deputy Bob's mean-ass shotgun.
Так, я не знаю, просто хочу убивать уже.
There's children here.
So much lead was whizzing by my head, it was like everyone in Lincoln wanted to put me in the ground.
О, щет!
I knew I needed to find a horse. Though I never did have a great fondness for those four-legged grass eaters. These smelly, sweaty, ungrateful beasts. We prize them too high, if you ask me. Put down your weapon!
You're threatening the lives of innocent people.
Ну вот для дробовика осталось немножко у нас. Точнее, патрон немножко.
But where was the kid while you were busy getting shot at?
Gone. And that's when it occurred to me why Billy set me free.
Have you no respect for decency?
So I could be a hapless decoy and draw attention while he snuck out of town.
Тихо, да.
I knew if I made it out of there in one piece, no one would put a price on my head.
Because everybody in Lincoln would be dead?
No, because they all thought I was Billy, and all that blame would fall on him. Meanwhile, Deputy Bob Ollinger was organizing a posse to
Ух,
put me
ебать! Ебать!
a mean son of a bitch, but
У
he
меня патрон-то нет,
pissed
ребят.
that I stole his mean-ass shotgun.
Ребят, патрон-то нет, ребят. Блять, по мне со всех сторон. Ящик. Все, смерть. Ага, патрон-то нет. Не ожидали этого, да? Шестизарядник. Оу, щит. Я ж голову им стреляю, как они не умирают?
the edge of town.
Время с собой патроны носить. Сколько же я насобирал здесь? Неплохо, неплохо.
I guess Billy saved your ass, taking out Bob Ollinger the way he did.
Billy didn't kill Bob.
Sure he did. He dispatched him right after he shot Deputy Bell.
No, sir. Because Bob came right up behind me, angry as hell that Billy had lit out. Hello, Bob, I said. I think you better let me go. And he says, I don't think so, boy. Not with my shotgun. So we stood there in the middle of the street, eyeball to eyeball. He intended to kill me, and I knew I had no choice but to defend myself.
Я, блядь, пизду. Ой, блядь!
Some say I fought on. He intended to kill me, and I knew I had no choice but to defend myself.
Идеальный фокус.
I killed him in a fair fight. Everybody saw I had no damn choice. Well, Lincoln got a mite depopulated that day. Pat Garrett gunned down Billy 3 months later.
So where'd you go after Lincoln?
Mexico. Until I realized nobody was looking for me. I ended up taking a job at the Rurales.
The Mexican Rurales?
I was hired to help them track down the cowboys.
The most vicious outlaw gang in Cochise County? Curly Bill Brocious? Johnny Ringo?
Led by old man Clanton himself.
They must have paid you a pretty penny to take them hombres on.
Not really. But truth be told, I had my own reasons for going after those boys.
Да блядство. Ебаная игра, блядь. Ну ты нахуй. Блядь, ебанутые игры. Погнали, спидран, спидран. А чё, Серега, реально так громко клавиатуру слышно? Я, блядь, потому что...
Roscoe Bob Bryant was his name.
Oh,
But no, this time it was a different bastard I was after. The aforementioned Mr. Ringo. And yes, he was working for old man Clanton.
Ебать. Нихуя себе. Реально жестко слышно. Ну похуй. Так сойдет. Что это?
I came upon them robbing a stagecoach, which wasn't surprising, being they were such murderous thieves and bastards. The bandits wore red scarves, so I knew they worked for the old man. Over there! I did my best to help those poor passengers. Moments later, the attackers were dead, and I checked the stagecoach to see how many passengers were still breathing. None. It was then I wondered if the rocks weren't hiding more bandits. Was that all of them? Or did I just hit the rear guard? I quickly got my answer. They attacked from on high like Apaches often do. They would appear in great numbers from above and rain down lead on their hapless enemies' heads, making use of the high ground and whatever else they had. Yep, the Apaches always appeared out of nowhere, and there never seemed to be an end to them.
Hold on. Were you attacked by Apaches? What happened to the cowboys?
Did I say they were Apaches? I said Clanton's cowboys attacked me Apache style. I was in a pitched battle, but I was holding my own against an overwhelming enemy force. See, at the time, I was still pretty green and would often blunder into regrettable situations. But I just kept shooting at anything I could see up in those damn rocks.
Ну,
I
легко.
didn't
Ой.
see Ringo. I knew he was with the cowboys. He and Roscoe Bob had done me a dreadful wrong, and I was determined to have my revenge. But to get to Ringo, I knew I'd have to fight my way past these other assholes first. Unfortunately, I was running out of ammo. Another perfect example of my relative inexperience as a hunter of men.
Серьезно, у меня ж только что патроны были.
Tactical retreat was called for, as my vengeful fury was much less impressive without the bullets to back it up.
Что делать тогда?
Finally, they managed to corner me. Trapped as I was, the odds of my survival seemed pretty slim.
Да он заебал уже по мне стрелять, блядь.
Luckily, serendipity was on my side as I suddenly spotted a way out of my predicament. I ran ahead as if the devil himself was after me. Bullets were whizzing by my ears, but I wasn't about to roll over and die. I just kept running like there was no tomorrow. Because there wouldn't be if Clanton and his men caught up with me. As I was scurrying around those caves, I thought, what was I thinking? Going up against a gang like this. You're done. I just kept running, not knowing where the hell I was going.
Down.
And that's when something miraculous happened. Like manna from heaven, I found the desiccated remains of what looked like an Apache warrior. The old weapon next to him supplied me with some much-needed ammunition. Pat Masterson once told me it was more important to be lucky than good, and he would know.
Мне вернули патроны.
And imagine my surprise when I found a fistful of dynamite to go along with that ammo. That stroke of good fortune evened the odds and bolstered my confidence. It was time to turn the tables. Time for the prey to become the predator. Time for the hunted to become the hunter. Time.
All right, Jesus, we get it. They were right where you wanted them.
That's right, Jack. I was done running, and the old man's boys were not expecting that. No, sir. I came at them like a wildcat. My fury knew no bounds.
4 патрона трачу слишком жестко.
It was finally time for that old man to pay for his sins.
Гатлин?
I yelled out at the top of my lungs, "Clanton, I'm coming for you!" A little stealth might have made more sense, to be perfectly honest. Because that old fool had a Gatling gun and enough bullets to last him till kingdom come. But I knew I could not let that deter me. Not if I was to find and kill Ringo. I needed to get that old man off that gun.
Не-не-не-не-не-не-не.
Most everyone thought it was the Ruales who had come up against him in Guadalupe Canyon, but it was just me.
Это смерть. Я не знаю, блядь, мне кинули динамит, нахуй. Все просто, все в моей жизни. Ну, а. Действительно прикол. Ноль попаданий, ты чё, блядь? Почему я не попадаю? Можно вопрос? Уёбище, блядь, старое.
Apparently, one of the cowboys made it out of there alive. and told Ike and Billy Clanton that it wasn't a Mexican who took their father's life that day. They just assumed it was one of the Earps, and that little misunderstanding eventually led to that legendary gunfight at the OK Corral.
Посылочка близка к кульминации. Потому что завтра мне нужно сделать дохера дела, поездить туда-сюда. Будет время заехать за посылку. Я во время... Пока в дороге буду... Ну, типа, мне просто по дороге, поэтому... Сначала туда заеду, потом туда. Вот.
A few weeks after that dust-up at the OK Corral, I was still after Johnny Ringo.
Поэтому сегодня... Я не знаю, лечь пораньше или нет, но... Я думаю, я проснусь, типа, раз уж я сказал. Типа, если я себе решил, я проснусь.
Well, him and that other bastard.
Roscoe Bob Bright?
Yep. They both deserve to die, and I promise I'll tell you why.
Что бы сказать?
Tell you about the Cowboys' new boss, Curly Bill Brooks.
Завтра заберу, короче.
Get ready, boys. Curly Bill took charge of the Cowboys upon the old man's demise, and after that gunfight at the OK Corral, the Clantons wanted revenge. So they murdered Morgan Earp and grievously wounded his older brother Virgil.
Virgil, ты из Devil May Cry? Давай. Как сексуально. По мне стреляют.
Hunting those outlaws down. So when I showed up, that's who they thought I was.
Толпоёб, блядь.
There were killers around every corner, all wearing red bandanas. That's how the Cowboys identified each other, and I was beginning to wish I had one myself. But I wasn't about to let Ringo walk away unscathed, and that's what drove me forward.
They say that Ringo was infernally fast.
Hardly saw anyone faster, boy. Certainly not Wyatt Earp. That man was all hat and no cap.
Earp wasn't much of a match for him, but Doc Holliday might have taken him.
That London should have kept his nose out of it. They never charged anyone for the murder of Morgan Earp.
But everybody knew that Curly shot him in the back. That was common knowledge.
Давайте перебираемся.
But Ringo had nothing to do with it. He was just being loyal to a friend.
Is that what you call it? Being loyal.
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
What's that, Dwight?
After old man Clanton died, why didn't his son take over the Cowboys?
Because Ike Clanton was dumber than a box of rocks and a yellow belly to boot. Now, where was I?
Taking down the entire cowboy gang single-handed.
Indeed I was, Jack.
Как это мне? Так. 4.
Though it wasn't easy, as those boys had good cover.
Такое чувство, будто сейчас в Фортнайте начнут строиться челики, короче. Да он.
Everywhere, piles of lumber, and God knows what else for people to hide behind. That really was one hell of a sawmill.
Сучки
Quite
просто.
an impressive operation.
And where was Curly Bill? Did you see him?
I'm about to get to that, Ben. Patience. I'm painting a picture here. There was this beautiful waterfall,
Причем,
and
типа,
a crystal clear stream that led to a verdant valley that was truly,
Consider your picture painted. What happened next?
well, finally the bastards that were still alive made a last stand.
в чем разница между этими винтовками, типа? Дробовиком там. Не нахуй этот дробовик не надо. Извините. Помойка же. Ну да, конечно же, не туда.
Curly Bill, Johnny Ringo, and his compadres took off into the lumber yard, and I followed after.
Are you saying they ran? Cowardice was not in Ringo nor Curly Bill's nature.
No, sir. I never said they were running scared. They just wanted me out in the open.
Time to dance with the devil. You working for Wyatt Earp? Did that sumbitch Earp send you to kill me? You can't hide forever, boy.
Вот как это работает. Что-то я затупил. Сорян.
Lucius gave me no choice but to take his life. But Ringo was nowhere to be found.
I knew you didn't kill Ringo, because he was found dead in a different location altogether.
To this day, his killer is still unknown.
Indeed. Took me a few months before I finally tracked his ass to West Turkey Creek Canyon.
За час я в этой игре увидел больше экшена, чем в своей жизни. О нет.
That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
Как он так быстро вытаскивает, я не понимаю просто. Типа, как он так быстро вытаскивает?
That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
Как же он быстро это делает, ебать, я туплю. Что тут мышкой управление такое хуёвое, ну типа вот в этом фокусе. Ну какая, блядь, нечестная? Я хочу честно.
That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
Sorry I had to ruin the legend for you, boy. But the legend ain't always true. Doc Holliday had nothing to do with the death of Johnny Ringo. I was paid a healthy bounty for Ringo and Curly Bill, and realized there was real money to be made. That's why I went after Henry Plummer.
Now, wasn't he the sheriff who augmented his income by shaking down miners and robbing gold shipments?
That's the one.
Oh, yeah, I remember him. He ran that gang of thieving outlaws called the Innocents.
So it's true that you went toe-to-toe with him?
Ну не знаю, где-то
Indeed I did.
с прошлого года, с лета. Где-то полгода. Нет. Около года, там где-то плюс-минус месяц. Так вот. Если ты про ХС. А чё, блядь, я думаю, мне загрузить, мне нужно пробел нажать, блядь.
I knew I needed resources if I was going to track down Roscoe Bob Bryant. and hunting Plumber looked like a good way to get rich quick. As the local vigilantes exposed him as the leader of the bandits and put a generous price on his head. Plummer rallied his gang to plunder one last gold mine before making their escape, and that's where I thought I'd find him.
It makes me nervous standing so close to all these goddamn barrels of gunpowder.
Why would you be nervous? No one has the cojones to come after us. As long as you don't light up a cigar, we're fine.
Yeah, besides, George is up there on the rocks with that rifle of his. Nothing gets past him.
My late father pointed out to me more than once. God made men, and Samuel Colt made them equal.
Я, правда, не знаю, в чем разница, типа, этих револьверов. Ну, может, обычный, а тут жесткий, типа.
I knew that dynamite wasn't mine, so I decided the polite thing would be to return it. It was the biggest gold rush since Sutter's Mill in '48. Unfortunately, prospectors weren't the only ones drawn to those riches.
Ёбаный.
There were thieves and killers, robbing travelers and hijacking gold shipments. Like those that ran with Plummer. Some were just regular folks I knew from town, drawn by greed and easy pickings.
Бля, невыгодная ситуация, они на хайграунде.
James, who worked in the stable. Sam and Jeremiah Barber, the butcher's son. Ordinary citizens who lived a double life.
Нойсаим. Руаим.
Stone cold killers trained on the bloody fields of Shiloh and Antietam. Plummer had a lot of men on his payroll. A hell of a lot. That son of a bitch pretended to protect the public with one hand while stealing them blind with the other.
Блять, да он ничего.
He set up a defensive perimeter which I had no idea how to breach. Dangerous, desperate individual.
Блять, у меня жопа болит сидеть.
I was outnumbered and in way over my
Ты
head,
долбоёб-то.
but I was too damn stubborn and stupid to realize it. I thought I was some kind of hero. I finally made it past and headed on to meet my destiny. But first, I had something I needed to figure out. I had a few ideas on how to get into that mine, but once I made my decision, I knew there was no turning back. So my first thought was to enter the nearest mine portal. I saw an entrance. Made sense. It was the quickest way in, but that also made it more dangerous. As there would
Ты даун,
undoubtedly be
ебаный.
pickets posted along the way. Besides, once you enter a mine like that, it's easy to get all turned around.
Не, ну нахуй эти дробовики ваши. Потлатые.
And that confusing maze of
Мне
corridors
точнее
wouldn't
стрелять
even be
лучше
the
идет.
worst of it. Some of those shafts could be as deep as hell.
Ёбаные
Single
индейцы,
stumble or
блядь.
misstep can easily end in a deadly plunge to oblivion.
Я потом локачу. You talk about my one taps.
Often make up for a lack of common sense. Luckily, I was never one to be easily bushwhacked. I would just need to be careful not to blow myself to kingdom come. With all that gunpowder and dynamite everywhere, a body has to know what he's shooting at.
А, это мне такие револьверы дали? Пока тут передышка нужна, вот, или что-то там чекнуть. Ха-ха-ха-ха-ха. Ну нет, что я сделал?
One wrong bullet could have turned that mine into a dad-blasted tube. I freely admit that my plan of attack was not just moronic, but clearly insane. It's a good thing that I abandoned that ridiculous plan before I even tried it. Instead, I spotted a
Я по фану, типа?
way into the mine from the opposite side.
Я там чё, блядь, по фану сейчас воевал или что? Он меня троллит? Сука, старикашка ёбаный. Меня троллит, я тебе отвечаю, блядь.
Climbing down that ladder required some caution. Because even though I had a younger man's reflexes, no man can dodge a damn bullet while climbing down a rickety ladder. I needed to make a leap of faith, which ain't easy when you're suspended between heaven and hell. I was determined not to give up. As Sheriff Plummer seemed quite the despicable character. When the vigilantes discovered what the sheriff was up to, people were outraged. That 10,000 they put on his head would go a long way to helping me find old Bob. And I had made it my mission to settle that score come hell or high water. But first, I would have to make a choice. Take the elevator or climb the ladder. I wanted to use the element of surprise. Plus, I figured I could use the exercise. I was warmed up already, so what the hell? Plummer was a mad dog killer, and the people of Nevada City deserve better.
Nevada City? Well, I thought Plummer met his maker in Bannock, Montana.
Right, well, he was the sheriff of both places at one time or another, but that's neither here nor there. The point was, taking him down would save a lot of lives, including my own.
Опять сейчас. Типа файт босс. Типа босс файт, блядь, я тебе отвечаю.
They're gonna need a dustpan to pick you. Today is just getting worse and worse for you, ain't it?
Henry Plummer was clearly unhinged, and I could see right away that this was gonna take some doing.
Get out here! Oh! I need some help here! Come on, boys! Take this cocksucker out!
Блять, я даун.
So that's how Henry Plummer died. Him and his crew were worth their weight in gold. And now, I was officially a bounty hunter.
Конечно.
So, did you finally go after that Bob feller?
Well, I heard word he was in Kansas with John Wesley Hardin. So that's where I went.
Where in Kansas?
Abilene. Why do you ask, Ben?
No reason.
Was Hardin as fast as Ringo?
Ringo was fast, but John Wesley was as fast as the devil himself. Hell, he killed his first man at 15. From that day forward, he had a price on his head and wouldn't back down for nobody, not even
Типа ему на этом фото 15?
himself. I dodged death many a time, and that night in Abilene was no different. there with the intention of finding that bastard Bob and collecting the bounty on John Wesley.
А не понимаю, в чем рофл револьвера.
I thought the Texas Rangers got hard.
Yeah.
Ты завали ты ебальник свой.
It was cold in a witch's tit and a brass bra that night as I fought my way past his loyal compadres.
Нафиг мне скорострел, если я стреляю метко. Вот здесь вот всю скорострельность немножечко. О! Патрончики.
Hardin was waiting for me. Wait, I'm jumping the gun here. Let me back up and give you some background on this sumbitch. He deserves that much. Don't you think so, Ben? John Wesley Hardin was a killer. By the end, he confessed to taking the lives of 42 men. Fathers and husbands, brothers and sons, men with families who cared about them. He was a bona fide folk hero by then, and had amassed a gang of armed miscreants and other assorted thugs. He and his men set up camp outside of town, and I was hoping Bob was among them.
God damn it! Shoot that son of a bitch! Watch where you're shooting!
I had to spill a lot of blood to find out Hardin wasn't in that camp. He was carousing in town with his closest friends. Hardin's boys apparently didn't want me to reach the boys. Some were hightailing it into town to inform their Hefe of my unwelcomed presence.
Это мэл, да? Серьезно? Ебать. Что это револьвер с узором? 30 к скорости стрельбы, к скорости прицеливания. К дальности. Нет, мне это не надо, скорость. Так, куда мне надо? Как же он стреляет, боже. Гениально.
I wondered if Bob was among them. And I steeled myself for the fight ahead. For as good as I was, deep down I wondered if John Wesley wasn't just a little bit better. Before I could test my mettle against Hardin, however, I would first need to dispatch his cadre of hired killers. Most of these degenerates were beyond redemption, but John Wesley might have been a different story. I didn't learn until later that that night was in fact his birthday celebration.
Оу! О, нет, нет, нет.
I think I already mentioned that I found Hardin in this very saloon. Suffice it to say,
Я, кажется, не в том баре оказался, ребятки. Да, я не в тот бар забежал. Пиздец. Да сейчас разъебу.
in fact, I felt a certain hostility.
Ебать, он стреляет, дурачок, блядь.
I was disappointed that neither Bob nor John Wesley were among the dead. But that was short-lived, as a moment later I was facing down the fastest gun in the West. I felt a bolt of adrenaline. Or maybe that was fear. He was well known for his tricks, and I knew I'd need my own if I was ever to defeat him. No, wait! He didn't hit me then. I'm sure of it.
Да мышка, блядь. Мышка съезжает. Мышка съезжает. Окей, окей. Долбоёб, я же нажал пробел, блядь. Дебил. Я ебу с ним дуэлями, и мышка еще, блядь, съезжает. Я кручу, хуяк, она поехала. Я хочу, чтобы она поехала. Можно мне прицелиться, мальчик? Дебил, блядь. Я, блядь, нажимаю пробел, в чем проблема?
I felt a bolt of adrenaline. Or maybe that was fear. He was well known for his tricks, and I knew I'd need my own if I was ever to defeat him.
Это изи. Смотрите.
He didn't hit me then. I'm sure.
Короче, смотрите, короче. Я же нажимаю пробел, ты чё, даун? Похраплю чутка, полежу, блядь. Я, блядь, нажимаю пробел, ты чё? Ты долбоёб? А я не туда нажимаю, это я долбоёб, извините. Я все время не ту кнопку, кстати, жал, ну, если вы поняли, о чем я. Серега, я все время не ту кнопку жал. Я долбоёб. Все, смерть. Оп!
Faster than greased lightning. But being inebriated as he was, he didn't count his shots. And now, he was at my mercy.
So he didn't die?
No, I sent him to prison. Years later, after he was free, some restless Avenger took his life. Shot him in the back in a saloon just like this one. Anybody up for another beer? Ben? Thank you, darling. Yeah, some say revenge is a dish best served cold.
So whatever happened to that Bob guy you were after?
Personally, I'd like to hear some of your other adventures. Like, I don't know, did you ever go toe-to-toe with a red man?
Yes, I did, Ben. I remember once I was after this renegade Apache, Grey Wolf. Strangely enough, revenge was also his primary motivation.
Уже час 30 до стрима. Это не так много.
A bounty was put on Grey Wolf's head, and that's how I came to hunt him in the mountains.
Ну так, Ганслингер чисто стрелялка на один стрим, наверное. Не знаю, типа, я, может, ее пройду, но...
Grey Wolf was a Chiricahua
Но
Apache
нет.
medicine man who had led a war party in revenge for a massacre against his people. The U.S. Army had attacked his tribe during his daughter's sacred sunrise ceremony, and the slaughter was unspeakable. I understood his anger, as there's nothing more traumatic than seeing those you love die in a cruel and painful death. Right from the beginning, I couldn't shake the feeling that Grey Wolf was watching my every move.
Да не, это пройду, наверное. Да, Серега? Это пройду. Через речку я пойду, пиздюля я получу.
And it crossed my mind that maybe this wasn't such a good idea. But now that the shooting has started, there was no backing down.
Ты ебанутый. Оу, щит.
It was rugged country, the winter home of the Chiricahuas. And that's why they had retreated there. I admit to having some regrets about going after them the way I did. But then again, I got a lot of those.
Ой, блядь, Миш, с томагавками!
Did you find Grey Wolf?
Not at that moment, but I did find the entrance to their hideout.
Чего, блядь?
A deep crevice that led to a deeper cave.
Don't tell me you went in there.
Yeah, but it's not out of bravery so much as pure, angry cussedness.
How big was his cave?
Big as hell, Ben. Chiricahua had hid out there during the Indian Wars. They thought it was haunted with the ghosts of those murdered by the horse soldiers.
The cave was haunted with dead Indian ghosts?
To be honest, I was more concerned with the live ones than the dead ones.
А это кто? Они тоже рефлекторно умерли, да? Рефлекторно.
How come you know so much about Indians?
A few years back, I was married to two Mescalero women.
At the same time?
Yeah, they were sisters. Polygyny is traditional among the Mescalero.
So what happened?
Oh, I had to get out of there. Those girls never shut up. Both of them nagging at me all the time. Drove me half crazy. Haven't seen them since.
No, I mean, what happened with Grey Wolf?
Oh, well, I pursued him into the Cave of Death. I came upon this flooded grotto, and that's when I saw him. He came to me unarmed and unafraid. His voice echoed in the shadows. And I sensed he meant me no harm.
You carry great darkness in your heart, and if you do not release it, it will claim your soul.
The sound of his voice put some kind of ancient Indian spell on me.
Дробовик мне нахуй не нужен.
As his story unfolded in my mind,
You will come to this place again and kill many more men, and the darkness will grow until it consumes everything that you are. no rainbow. I had no tears.
Я не могу
He
попасть.
said I was a great warrior, a coyote man, unequaled by any other pale-faced warrior, or something like that.
The snakes will bite shadows of your past until a venom poisons your heart, and an echo of the song of the dead summons the spirits deep from within the mountains.
I didn't quite get what he was saying, but there was definitely snakes. And indeed, his warriors surrounded me and attacked me like hungry wolverines. They couldn't stop me, though, and Grey Wolf wasn't in the mood for idle talk.
За секунду легли сынки. Опять. Oh shit! I don't see. Didn't saw that. The downs. Нет!
I swear I couldn't see any way out of this trap. But suddenly, one just appeared. Kind of like a miracle.
О, чудо. Это выход.
I felt like I would be lost in that damn cave forever. Finally, I found myself back outside, perched on the edge of a precipice, overlooking a thundering whitewater river. To get where I was going required several leaps of faith. But no way in hell I was turning back. I chased after him, determined to make him explain the meaning of all that mumbo-jumbo.
Mumbo-jumbo's right. Are you making this all up as you go?
A few details may be fuzzy, brother, but I am relating exactly what happened to me. There were dozens of Apache warriors aiming at me from on high.
Dozens?
Well, maybe not dozens, but there was a lot of them.
At least 3 or 4.
Well, more than that, maybe.
Да блять! Я даун, да, я даун. Все, иди на. Я от падения сдох! Вау, блять, я от падения сдох. Не вижу ничего.
Steep climb up creek ahead of me and scrambled up those rocks like a mountain. I was determined to locate Grey Wolf and find out exactly what the hell he was trying to tell me. Wouldn't you know it? That crafty son of a bitch led me right into a trap.
What kind of trap?
Well, son, there had to be at least 100 Apaches surrounding me.
100?
God be my witness.
Oh, come on. Who are you kidding?
Hey, I believe you. Come on, tell us how it ended.
All right, but I'm not gonna drag this out. Where were we?
You were surrounded by 100 Apache warriors.
Well, I didn't take the time to count them exactly, but there were a lot of them.
Нет! Не дай бог, блять, я умру сейчас от чего-то. Как же он кликает. Миллиард пуль в голову, миллиард. Миллиард пуль, миллиард.
And in the end, a path appeared before me that I had not seen before. I followed it as I desperately needed to find out what Grey Wolf was trying to tell me. But it was like that son of a bitch disappeared into thin air. Never did find him. And never did collect my goddamn bounty. Thank you, darling. It's interesting how the truth can sometimes seem might malleable, depending upon your point of view.
Like how those dime novels make you out to be something you're not?
Jack, don't be starting trouble.
No, he's right. They do tend to exaggerate.
Did they exaggerate your part in taking down the Daltons?
Well, I was there in the flesh, boy, so I saw what happened firsthand.
О чем сейчас был рассказ? Номос.
Those Daltons were lawmen once, before they all went bad, robbing banks and trains clear across the territory. Until Coffeeville, of course. I was one of the citizens who took up arms that day.
Fighting on the side of right?
I did my best, sir. We all did. It was early morning.
Влечь глазки.
One of my friends was a local gunsmith, and he handed out firearms to anybody who'd take one. You see, the Daltons got it in their heads to rob two banks at the same time. Two banks on the same damn street.
Два банка на одной чертовой улице, лол. Два блядских банка. Как же я устал. Ну, в смысле, не устал, нет. Это ощущение от того, что жарко, пиздец. Ой. Так, слышишь, Серега, я готов. Погнали шпилить в этом. У меня задержка где-то буквально 4-5 секунд. Пять или 10. Ну, точно не одупляю, но...
Story was Bob Dalton's girl was always writing about how he had no ambition. Well, the locals recognized the Daltons right off. Before they could get away, half the town took up arms to defend their property. The brothers paid dearly for their stupidity, but everybody knows they had it coming.
There's more to it than that. I read all about that day, so I know for a fact that it went down very differently. First of all, it was high noon. A posse of U.S. deputy marshals were on the rooftop across the street.
They're gonna make a move.
The lawmen had been tracking the Daltons for months. And now they finally had them dead to rights. Among them
Да,
was
блядь, по мне давай постреляй, сука, даун.
the marshals tried to get the Daltons to surrender.
They'll give up eventually.
Стреляют, кстати, по мне только.
This bounty hunter knew that the brothers were far too proud to ever lay down their guns. He went in there alone to confront those criminals. One of the marshals shouted, "Where are you going? Are you crazy?"
Hey, where do you think you're going, dumbass? That rifle's mine.
He saw a way to get around to the back of the bank. Then he figured out how to hit the Daltons from a direction they weren't expecting. From above. Fortunately, a water tower was right there. A moment later, he was climbing up a steep ladder, laughing at danger as he did. It was brave men like him who risked their lives to tame this wild country.
We've got company.
Heroic men like him, who did what other men couldn't or wouldn't to make this country free.
Is that Silas Greaves? Son of a bitch!
Jim Boone, Davy Crockett, who died defending the Alamo.
Over there!
Я же нажал, блядь.
That's Silas Greaves.
What the hell?
Blank, blank.
Серега, ты отчетливо видел, что 2 раза ему выстрелил в голову?
Thieving Daltons.
С узором. Подождите. Короче. Ага, где-то тут мне револьвер, да, новый открылся. 3 скорости стрельбы. Мне не нужно это еще.
His name was Silas Greaves. And when the dust finally settled, he was the last man
Окей,
standing.
иди.
Sorry, kid, but that just wasn't the way it happened.
Блядь, они меня троллят, что ли, туда-сюда гонять? Блядь, заново?
Early evening, not high noon. The Daltons blew up a safe, and were all set to hightail it out of there. Those pathetic deputies surrounding the bank were dropping like flies. I had been tracking those jokers for months, waiting for them to do something reckless.
Почему по мне стреляют, а я как терпил ответить сейчас не мог? Что это за дела? Там заебалось, блин, нахуй. На, в бочину дал. Так, надо бы прокачать что-нибудь.
Those friends came after me like a pack of wild dogs, tooth and nail. They were coming at me from all directions. I caught sight of the Daltons running with the money and didn't want to lose it. Problem was, they knew the town better than I did. And to top it off, I found myself in the middle of another shootout entirely.
Did the Daltons hole up in somebody's house?
No, it was the Smiths, I believe. They were cousins of the Daltons, and they were shooting at the Browns, who were shooting at the Daltons, which wasn't any surprise, because those two families have been feuding forever. And since the Joneses are related to the Browns, they shot at the Smiths, pissing off the Heimhoffers, whose daughter recently married a Smith. The Dalton boys knew I would never give up. Those Daltons weren't the sharpest knives in the drawer, but they always stood together. They set a trap to slow me down and allow at least two of them to escape. The third brother stayed behind to plant me, just in case that trap of theirs didn't work. It was Emmett, the youngest, and he decided to stand his ground and face me down.
I ain't afraid of you, son. This is where it ends for you.
He was determined to protect his brothers, and I understood how he felt. Taking me on all by his lonesome wasn't exactly a recipe for a long life.
You are dead, dog.
Долбоёб я.
But Emmett Dalton survived the robbery in Coffeyville. He's the only Dalton who did.
They say he was shot 23 times.
Well, Dwight, who do you think put all those damn holes in him? But I have to admit, that boy had grit.
Семь секунд у меня задержка почему-то. Вы это видите, нет? А трон-то, блядь. Так, ну, ребятки, это, наверное, сейчас будет последний рывок, так сказать. Вот это последняя глава, либо я сейчас прям ухожу. Потому что Серега ушел, и я пока не вижу смысла тут оставаться. Ну вот этих Далтонов, короче, я сейчас ёбну, и мы расходимся, ребят. Да, прикол.
They seemed as determined as me to find those outlaws. But as we headed into those swamps, it was like I had my own private army. There was no way those boys were getting away this time.
It was early fall, right? Beautiful time of year. At least you had the weather on your side.
Not by my recollection. It was damp and foggy as hell. It was tough to stay on a true course, so we kept an eye out for landmarks. It was autumn. The maple trees were in full color, red as blood. The rains that year were torrential, so the whole area was flooded. The vigilantes had spread out wide, and pretty soon I couldn't see anybody. Except for some bitches ahead of me wanted to do me harm. So I had to face them alone. I wondered why my compatriots didn't come running when they heard the shots.
So did you find the Daltons?
Not yet, but I did have the questionable pleasure of meeting a few of their friends. The boys had established quite a reputation by that time, so they attracted all manner of riffraff to their cause. Point being, I was under serious attack.
Бля!
Reinforcements was nowhere to be seen.
Самый шустрый стример на Диком Западе.
But luckily, a barn materialized as if right before my eyes. I scrambled up top to get a better view, but just ended up falling inside.
So, how did you get out?
The barn doors was open. About right then, I saw some suspicious characters running for the bushes. Of course, I followed them. But that goddamn swamp was like a goddamn maze, and pretty soon I had no goddamn idea where I was. Steve? So I just started walking, and pretty soon it...
Oh.
Steve? Steve?
Huh? Oh, no, I'm listening.
Indians surrounded me from all sides.
Indians? There were Indians?
No. I just wanted to make sure Steve was paying attention. Now, where was I?
You were following the Daltons through a swamp?
That's right. See, Steve? Dwight's paying attention.
No, I'm listening. I was just resting my eyes.
So, where was I?
The Daltons.
Right. See, there's a reason so many outlaw gangs are made up of brothers. Being a brother is a very sacred thing. It's a bond like no other.
So did you ever find the damn Daltons?
Not yet. But I did find a few of their cousins. You Kansans breed like rabbits.
Я, блядь...
Smiths or Heimhoffers or who knows what.
А что сейчас произошло? Может мне кто-нибудь объяснить? Не понял. Сука, я не... Он, блядь, даже в мою сторону не смотрел, я рот. Кто меня опять взорвал? Нахуй.
What's more important than family? I bet Ben knows what I'm talking about.
Wake the fuck up, Samurai.
I knew those Dalton boys were out there somewhere, standing together against anyone who would threaten them.
Wake the fuck up, Samurai.
And that's when I saw it. A goddamn steamboat.
A steamboat in a swamp?
Yeah, Steve, but this wasn't much more than a wreck, really.
But how'd a damn steamboat end up in the swamps?
Yes, it floated off during the flood of '89.
Now, was it a sternwheeler or a side wheel?
What? Does that really make a difference, Steve? It was a steamboat with a goddamn army on board. It was in that a fusillade of bullets come raining down from our house, and those vigilantes who accompanied me weren't anywhere to be found.
Местная фауна как бы повержена.
I thought I saw some familiar faces.
Мелькнули знакомые лица лишь на секунду.
Somewhere up there, the Daltons were waiting on me.
Sounds like you don't give up too easy.
That's the kind of man I am, Ben. I set out to do something. I do it. Surrender just ain't in my nature. Plus, I'm stubborn as hell.
Wake the fuck up, Samurai. We check this out.
Right about then, much to my relief, the vigilantes finally arrived. Their leader motioned at a cabin in the middle of the top deck, pointing me directly at the Daltons. I finally had them, after months of dogged pursuit. Huh. But it turned out that they had me.
Take him out! I'm sending you to hell!
The Daltons had played
Not
me
so
like a
tough
fiddle.
after all, is it?
Apparently, the vigilantes were on their damn payroll. They didn't just want to shoot me. They wanted to burn me alive. But finding my way out of a burning labyrinth proved to be quite a challenge.
It was a riverboat, right? I mean, it's not like it was a goddamn ocean liner.
Oh, yeah, but I was in a fight.
It's gonna launch next year. Largest one in the world.
We're talking about the Titanic. If you ask me, it's too blessed big. I don't think it'll even float.
So anyway,
Don't be stupid, Steve. They know what they're doing. They say that the Titanic is unsinkable.
oh God,
But getting back to that steamboat, how'd you get off it, Mr. Breeze?
I took in a lot of smoke that day, so I admit my recollection might be a bit hazy. But somehow I managed to finally disembark. It was time to settle this once and for all.
Ну, блядь, черт твою мать бы побрал. Почему? Я их вантапами поубиваю.
Bob and Grat weren't about to come at me one at a time. They were in this together. Two brothers side by side, determined to take me down. Confident that this time the odds were on their side.
Я долбоёб! Как тут можно нечестно, блядь, сделать это?
Two brothers side by side, determined to take me down. Confident that this time the odds were on their side.
Да блин! Какого хуя, блядь, я же нажимаю, сучка.
They got it wrong. A sad end for those two. If they'd only known that Emmett was still alive despite his wounds. Paroled 14 years later, he moved to California and sold real estate and lived off the legend of that fateful day. And the tragic death of his two brothers.
Так. Ну...
My own brothers died tragically as well, truth be told. It was 1868, and me and my older brothers were pulling a tidy profit running cattle.
Потом это, короче, прослушаем все это. Я сейчас ливаю. Нужно ливать. Ну не-не-не-не-не-не-не-не, нет, 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 нет.
I'd been on their trail for months, ever since they left their hideout in the Bighorn Mountains.
Ну, игра запомнит, наверное, на каком моменте ты вышел. Так, все. Как бы всем спасибо, кто был там, да, то есть. Удачи, ебать, нахуй. Всем пока. Завтра будет стримак еще один. Не пропускать, 9 вечера. Так вот, ночное движение. Уа-ва-ва-ва-ва-ва. Я пошел.